Hi, I'm Corey Driver, and this is Moving Forward. So this week we are in Isaiah 9, Matthew 4, a tiny little bit of 1 Corinthians 1, and we're talking about foolishness or power. Okay, so think back to Thanksgiving or Christmas gatherings. Did y'all play games? Did you play card games or board games? Are you those people? We are those people. And I am a little bit ashamed to admit it, but shame hides in darkness. Sometimes I really want to win. I really want to win. And I might, even with my own children, bend rules of board games such that I can win. That's not great. In the lectionary text for this week, we have an extended conversation about the rules and what rules you can bend and what rules you cannot bend as followers of Jesus. So in Isaiah 9, Isaiah is reflecting on the fall or withdrawal of Sennacherib. I had the really great pleasure to listen to Dr. Julia Olson of Hebrew Union College give a talk about Sennacherib and the different accounts in the Bible and from the Assyrians themselves about the withdrawal of the Assyrians from Judah after their conquest of the northern kingdom of Israel. Now, there are various different accounts about exactly what happened and why it was that the Assyrians withdrew. But what is clear is that the people who were suffering most under the Assyrians, and let's be clear, the Assyrians are famous even in their own day for being especially brutal. These are some of the worst military conquests that have ever occurred across humanity. Just really, 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 really bad. Some of the worst. The people who are no longer under Assyrian power rejoice when being flayed alive or becoming part of a skull pyramid is no longer on your horizon. You're happy about it. And that's the context of Isaiah 9 that you have to get in order to understand what these words are saying. The people who have dwelled in darkness have seen a great light. The Assyrians are no longer threatening them on their doorstep. The people rejoice. Their joy increases. They divide military material left behind by the departing Assyrian army after months of siege and warfare. God broke the yoke of the oppressor like in the days of Gideon versus the Midianites, like Judges 7. The lands of Zebulun and Naphtali, the last to be occupied, are rejoicing. A light has dawned for them when the foreign threat is removed. Now, Judah didn't exactly win. They pay a heavy fee and become an Assyrian vassal state. But there's nothing quite like seeing your invaders who have been abusing you and killing you for a long time hit the road. And so that all is context for the use of Isaiah in Matthew. Now, Matthew is intentionally citing the removal of violent foreign oppressors from the Galilee and applying that to Jesus' ministry. This is meant to make the reader or hearer of this gospel account curious about what is going to come next. Now, in the context of the Gospel of Matthew, you might be surprised to know that a violent foreignish ruler has also come to power in the Galilee. Herod Antipas is the son of an Idumean father, think Edomite, and a Samaritan mother. Herod Antipas is the one who imprisons and then later murders John the Baptizer. So when Matthew uses the words of Isaiah to talk about how God and Hezekiah removed foreign military rule from the Galilee, the well-informed reader expects that Jesus will remove the Herodians from the Galilee. What else could this mean? But instead of forcing the Herodians to withdraw or buying them off, Jesus himself withdraws. Instead of freeing people from violent military or political oppression, Jesus freed people from their diseases, their demons, and their sins. A light shines upon the people of the Galilee in a new and unexpected way. And going just past the lectionary into verse 24, we see a great irony. The news of Jesus spreads all throughout Roman Syria to much of the former Assyrian Empire. Jesus healed all their sick and freed all their possessed. Instead of throwing out the military power ruling Galilee, Jesus extended his ministry of peace and healing from Galilee into greater Syria. Jesus confounds expectations that the light breaking forth will be a beacon of political freedom. Instead, Jesus lights a healing beam for all people. Jesus was not a warrior Messiah. Instead, he came to heal and to help. The rules of Jesus' ministry were good news to those suffering in Galilee and in Roman Syria. But there were those in his day, much like there are those in our day, who have no time for a peaceful Messiah. They would prefer a warrior Messiah to drive out foreign threats and use the power of the state to defeat or at least remove others who they don't like. But, and I have to be 100% clear on this, that's not who Jesus is. And that's not who followers of Jesus are called to be either. Let's be 100% clear on that. In his letter to the Corinthians, Paul points out that winning or making a great name for ourselves is not what followers of Christ are called to do. Pushing for winning or even thinking about winning as driving away perceived enemies is anathema to the cross of Christ. Instead, Jesus draws enemies close and turns them into children of God and siblings of all Christ followers everywhere. This may seem like foolishness to those who have had their sensibilities shaped by the evil of empire, but to those who are being saved by Jesus, following Jesus's peaceful ways and rules about how we treat others, are the very power of God. Thanks be to God. Amen.